So, picture the scene. It's a Tuesday morning,
You're waiting for your coffee.
right? Or you're squeezed onto the subway commute, You pull out your phone, check your sports app, and you're just doom scrolling past the headlines.
Looking for the big news, the stuff that makes the front page.
Exactly. You scroll past the NBA scores, maybe some football rumors, and then way down at the bottom, in the small print, you see a couple of tennis results.
Right.
Like Zhang Shuai wins first round in Merida, or Yuan Yu advances in Austin.
The stuff below the fold, the noise.
Yeah, and for 99% of the population, the thumb just keeps moving. You don't stop. It's just numbers on a screen. But you sent me this stack of research yesterday, articles, match reports, some really deep dive analytics, and you basically said, stop scrolling.
Because if you stop scrolling and you actually look at what is happening in Merida, Mexico, and Austin, Texas right now,
Yeah.
you realize you aren't looking at sports scores. You're looking at a survival mechanism.
That is a heavy phrase, survival mechanism.
It's the truth, though. We are looking at the hidden economy of the WTA Tour. I mean, everyone watches the Grand Slams, Wimbledon, the U.S. Open, all the Netflix stuff.
Like glamour.
Right, that's the champagne. But these tournaments happening right now, the WTA 500 in Merida and the 250 in Austin, this is the engine room. This is where the rent gets paid.
Where the rent gets paid. I love
Yeah.
that. So today we're doing a deep dive into this ecosystem.
Let's do it.
We're going to talk about a concept called point mining. We're going to look at why a top-tier professional athlete might be training under a bridge.
Literally under a bridge.
Literally.
Yeah.
And we're going to discuss why lucky loser might just be the best job title in professional sports.
It's brutal, it's calculated, and honestly, it's more dramatic than a Grand Slam final if you know what to look for.
So let's set the board. Why are we talking about these two specific places, Merida and Austin? Why do they matter right now in the grand scheme of the season?
It's all about the calendar. You really have to understand the rhythm of the tennis year. We just finished the Australian Open.
Huge adrenaline, massive prize money.
Global attention. And we are about to start the Sunshine Double. Indian Wells and Miami, which are basically the biggest events outside of the slams.
So we're in the gap.
The lull. We are in the transition period. It's the dead zone, the superstars, the Arena Sabalenkas, the Iga Swiateks.
They've gone dark.
Exactly. They are resting their bodies, maybe doing a training block in Dubai or Florida. Sabalenka skipped the Middle East swing entirely. She is definitely not hopping on a flight to a 500-level event in the Yucatan Peninsula.
Which creates a vacuum.
A massive power vacuum. And that is where the point miners come in.
Okay, I want to drill down on this term. What is a point miner? Because it sounds like a video game character.
It's an economic necessity. If you are ranked, say, 50th or 80th in the world, the economics of tennis are actually terrifying.
Really?
Yeah, I think fans see players on TV and assume if you're in the top 100, you're flying private and staying at the Ritz-Carlton.
Well, yeah, you see the Nike sponsorship, you assume they're rich.
Far from it. If you play a big tournament like a Grand Slam or a 1,000-level event, and you lose in the first round.
Which happens a lot.
It happens a lot if you rank 80th because you automatically draw a top seed. And if you lose, you are losing money.
Just from the overhead.
By the time you pay for transatlantic flights, your coach, your physio, the hotel, the stringer,
Wow.
the prize money for a first-round loss barely covers the credit card bill.
And the ranking points.
Negligible. You get 10 points, maybe 30. You're running on a treadmill. You aren't moving up.
So you need to find a place where you can actually win rounds. You need a soft draw.
Exactly. And right now, Merida is the softest draw of the year because the Sharks are away. This is where the grinders go to stockpile points so they can survive the rest of the season.
The research actually mentioned a story about Zhang Shuai, who we'll get to in a bit, that really illustrated this glamour versus reality thing. You mentioned a bridge earlier.
Yeah, this is a quintessential tour story. Last year, Zhang Shuai was playing a lower-level event in Japan. The infrastructure just wasn't great.
Great.
There weren't enough practice courts available for the players. So here is a player who has won Grand Slams and doubles.
Right.
A veteran who has made millions in her career, and she is literally hitting balls against a concrete wall under a highway bridge.
No way.
Because she needed the practice and there was nowhere else to go. That is the reality. It's not all strawberries and cream.
Wow.
So when a tournament like Merida comes along and the facilities are decent and the top 10 aren't there, it's a gold rush.
It's a chance to bank huge ranking points without having to beat the best players in the world.
Exactly.
So let's look at Merida specifically. It's a WTA 500. Explain the tiers quickly. What does 500 mean here?
Simple math. The winner gets 500 ranking points.
Okay.
To give you context, a Grand Slam winner gets 2,000. So 500 is a significant chunk. It can move you 10, maybe 20 spots in the world rankings.
That's a career-changing jump for a mid-tier player. But you said the field is weak.
It's fascinatingly weak. The #1 seed is Jasmine Paolini. Now, she is a top 10 player, but she's there on a wild card. Usually, top 10 players are restricted from playing too many of these smaller events.
To give the other players a chance.
Yeah.
So why is she there? Is she point mining too?
She's confidence mining. Paolini is in a crisis. She lost early in Australia, lost in Doha, lost in Dubai. She is spiraling.
Oh, wow.
She needs match wins desperately before she has to go defend huge points on clay in Rome. She's basically slumming it strategically to remember what winning feels like.
That sounds incredibly stressful. But reading through the notes, it doesn't sound nearly as stressful as the situation for the #2 seed, Emma Navarro. This was the part of the research that gave me anxiety just reading it.
High stakes, high anxiety. Emma Navarro is the defending champion. She won this tournament last year.
And in tennis, unlike most sports, you don't just keep your points forever, right? You have to defend them.
Correct. Rankings are a rolling 52-width system. So this week, the 499 points Navarro won last year are about to expire. They fall off her record.
Okay.
Unless she wins the tournament again, she is going to have a massive net loss of points.
So she basically starts the week at -499.
Effectively, yes. She is sitting on a trapdoor. If she loses in the early rounds, those points just vanish into thin air.
What does that actually do to a career? Is it just a vanity metric, or does it materially matter?
Oh, it matters. It's a free fall. She could drop 10, maybe 15 spots in the rankings, and that triggers what we call the Sakkari cycle.
I saw that term in the notes. Break that down for us.
It's named after Maria Sakkari, who is a fantastic player, but has
Yeah.
gone through these brutal confidence dips. The cycle works like this. You lose points, your ranking drops.
Right.
Because your ranking is lower, you are no longer a seeded player in the big tournament.
Which means you don't get protection in the draw.
Exactly. Instead of playing a qualifier in round 1, you have to play Iga Swiatek or Aryna Sabalenka in round 1. You lose again. Your confidence shatters. You drop further. It is a complete death spiral.
So Navarro isn't playing for a trophy in Mexico. She is playing to keep her career from sliding off a cliff.
And the field below her, I'm looking at the seed list, it falls off a cliff too. Seed #3 is Ann Lai. She's ranked 39th.
That is a huge gap.
Yeah.
Top 10, top 20, then 39.
Usually in a strong 500, you'd have 5 or 6 top 20 players here. It's wide open.
But not all 500s are like this, right? The notes mentioned super 500s.
Right, context is everything. If you go to the Porsche Grand Prix in Stuttgart, that's a 500. But the sponsor is Porsche. The winner literally drives a sports car onto the court.
An actual Porsche.
An actual Porsche, so everyone shows up for that. Or look at the Asian swing at the end of the year. Tokyo, Ningbo. We saw Zhang Qian and Rybakina fighting tooth and nail there.
Because they were trying to qualify for the year-end finals.
Exactly. Those are must-win events. But Merida in February, this is for the opportunists. This is for the strategic minds.
And speaking of strategy, we have to talk about Emiliana Arango.
Oh, yeah.
I hadn't heard of her before this deep dive, but she sounds like she's completely hacked the system.
She really has. Arango is a Colombian player. If you look at her Grand Slam record, it's mediocre. She usually loses in the first or second round.
Okay.
She doesn't have the raw power to blow players off the court on a fast surface like the U.S. Open.
So what's her secret?
She realized something. She plays her best tennis at altitude, and she plays well in these transition weeks. In 2025, she reached the finals of both Merida and Guadalajara.
So she's a geography specialist.
She's a point miner extraordinaire. She knows she isn't going to win Wimbledon, so she targets these specific tournaments where the field is weaker and the conditions suit her.
That is incredibly smart business.
She takes her 300 points, banks the check, and maintains a top 60 ranking without ever having to beat a top 10 player.
It's the Moneyball approach to tennis.
It is. Know your market.
Which brings us to the main event in Merida. We have a matchup that perfectly encapsulates this drama. Round 2. Emma Navarro, the defending champ, fighting for her life against Zhang Shuai.
This is the match to watch. If you only watch one match this week, this is it.
Zhang is 36.
She's a veteran, one of the few players over 35 in the top 100, along with Laura Siegemund and Tatjana Maria, currently ranked 85th.
Right.
But don't let that number fool you. She just won the Australian Open doubles title in 2026. She knows how to win.
And she didn't get a free pass here. She had to qualify.
She was the #1 seed in the qualifying draw. She ground through 2 matches just to get into the main tournament. Then she destroyed Lubchenko, another veteran, in the first round.
The notes mention her live ranking is already jumping.
Just from those wins, she's moved from 85 to roughly 69 in the live rankings. She's already mined the gold. Everything else is a bonus.
But on paper, Navarro should crush her. Navarro is the #2 seed, younger, higher rank, defending champ. Why are the analytics suggesting Zhang might win this?
Because rankings lie. Matchups tell the truth.
Break down the matchup. What does Zhang do that Navarro hates?
It's all about time. Zhang Shuai plays incredibly flat, fast tennis. She stands right on the baseline and takes the ball on the rise.
On the rise. Explain that for the non-player.
So most players let the ball bounce, reach its peak, and start to drop a little before they hit it. It gives them time to set up their swing.
Okay.
Zhang hits it while it's still coming up off the court. It steals time from the opponent. The ball comes back over the net half a second faster than you expect.
So she rushes you.
She suffocates you. The data shows she hits faster than power hitters like Rybakina. Not because she swings harder, but because she hits sooner.
And Navarro?
Navarro needs rhythm. She needs time to set her feet.
Is there proof of this working against Navarro?
Look at Doha recently. Navarro lost to Anna Kalinskaya. Kalinskaya plays exactly like Zhang. Flat, fast, early. Navarro looked lost. She couldn't find her range.
And the head-to-head record backs this up.
Zhang is 2-0 against Navarro. She beat her in Beijing, beat her in Wuhan. She has the psychological edge.
So you have a confident veteran playing with house money versus a terrified defending champion who knows one loss destroys her ranking.
And Zhang knows it. She's going to target Navarro's backhand slice, which is a defensive shot, and just pound it until it breaks. It's a perfect storm for an upset.
I love that context. It turns a random second-round match into a psychological thriller.
That's the beauty of the deep dive.
Okay, let's hop on a plane and go north. We're going to Austin, Texas. The WTA 250. We're talking about Yuan Yu.
Ah, the lucky loser.
Before we get to the lucky part, we need to talk about the loser part, because her story over the last year is honestly heartbreaking.
It's a complete study in frustration. Yuan Yu was the Austin champion in 2024. This is where she broke through. But her defense in 2025, disaster. Lost first round.
So she lost her points, just like Navarro is fearing now.
Exactly. She plummeted. And since then, she has been the queen of almost.
The list in the notes was painful.
It really is. French Open, she's up a break on Paolini, looking like she'll win. Chokes. Loses. U.S. Open, a tight 3-setter against Samsonova. Loses.
Brutal.
Matches against Swiatek where she pushes it to a tiebreak and loses.
She can't close.
She gets to the finish line and freezes. It's a mental block. She is always one breath away from a huge win, and she suffocates.
So she comes back to Austin this year. She enters qualifying.
First round of qualifying, she plays like a demon. Wins 6-0, 6-0, a double bagel.
A perfect game.
She looks unstoppable.
Yeah.
Then comes the second round of qualifying, and she loses.
That is, I mean, after winning 6-0, 6-0.
So thumbs up per year. Brilliant tennis, followed by a collapse. So she's out. She's literally packing her bags. The tournament is over for her.
But the tennis gods had other plans.
Enter Jessica Pegula. She was the #1 seed for the main draw. Huge star. She just won a massive tournament in Dubai.
Right.
But it's her 32nd birthday. She's got a niggling knee issue. She looks at the calendar and says, you know what? I need to be ready for Indian Wells. I'm out.
She withdraws.
And when a top seed withdraws after the draw is made, the spot goes to a lucky loser, the highest ranked player who lost in the final round of qualifying.
Yuan Yu.
Yuan Yu gets the golden ticket. She is resurrected.
I've always loved the term lucky loser. It sounds like an insult. But in tennis, it's the most dangerous thing you can be.
It's the most unique psychological state in sports. Think about it. You have already processed the loss. You have already accepted, I am going home. The pressure is gone. Zero expectations.
You're playing with house money.
Exactly. And for a player like Yuan Yu, who has been choking under pressure for a year, removing the pressure is the magic ingredient.
So she steps onto the court against Rumkova in the first round.
And she falls behind. She faces 3 match points.
Oh no, here we go again.
Old Yuan Yu would have folded, but lucky loser Yuan Yu. She swings freely. She saves all 3 match points. She wins the second set. She wins the third. She wins 2-1.
She finally held her breath.
She finally closed. And now look at the situation. She's in the second round. The #1 seed, Pegula, is gone. The draw has opened up like the Red Sea.
Wow.
She is in a tournament she has won before.
Can a lucky loser actually go deep, or is it usually just a nice one-match bonus?
Oh, they can go deep. The source material brings up Eva Lies. This is the ultimate lucky loser fairy tale.
Tell me about Eva.
So, 2025 Australian Open, massive stage. Eva Lies loses in qualifying. She is devastated. She books her flight home for the 15th. She is done.
Bags packed.
Bags packed. She is sitting in the player lounge. 10 minutes, literally 10 minutes before her first round match is supposed to start, Anna Kalinskaya withdraws.
10 minutes.
The officials run into the lounge. Eva, you're on. She doesn't have time to warm up. She doesn't have time to get nervous. She grabs her rackets, runs onto the court.
That's insane.
She plays completely on instinct. She wins round 1. Then she wins round 2. She beats a top 20 player in round 3. She becomes the first lucky loser in the Open era to reach the round of 16 at the Australian Open.
What does that do for her financially?
She made 420,000 Australian dollars in 1 week.
Oh my gosh.
She said in an interview, "I have never seen that many numbers in my bank account." It funded her entire year. It changed her life.
And she was 10 minutes away from being on a plane.
She changed her flight 4 times that week.
And that is the exact opportunity sitting in front of Yuan Yu right now in Austin.
That is the energy. When you realize, I shouldn't even be here, you stop fearing failure. And for Yuan Yu, that mental shift might be the key to unlocking the talent we all know she has.
It's absolutely fascinating. We have 2 very different stories here. We have Zhang Shuai in Mexico, who was methodical. She's a surgeon.
Very calculated.
She found the weak tournament. She has the tactical matchup. She's mining the points.
Business decision, cold, hard efficiency.
And then Yuan Yu in Texas, who is riding a wave of chaos and fate.
The human element, pure resilience.
It really changes how I look at these scores. Zhang Shuai wins 6-2 isn't just a score. It's a veteran exploiting a market inefficiency.
And Yuan Yu wins 2-1 is a woman getting a second lease on life.
You know, there's a broader lesson here for the rest of us, outside of tennis.
I think there is. We all tend to fixate on our Grand Slams, the big promotion, the massive project, the moment where the whole company is watching.
Right.
And we grind ourselves into dust trying to win against the best people in the toughest conditions.
We're trying to beat Sabalenka at the U.S. Open.
Right. But maybe we should look for our Merida.
Find your Merida.
Where is the niche where the competition is a little softer? Where is the project that perfectly suits your specific skills, like Zhang's speed or Arango's altitude play?
Yeah.
Maybe you don't need to be the CEO. Maybe you just need to find the room where you can be the #1 seed.
Stop banging your head against the wall and go win the Porsche in Stuttgart. Or at least get the points in Mexico.
Strategy over brute force. Don't play the game everyone else is playing if you can't win it. Find the game you can win.
I love that. Well, next time a tennis score pops up on my phone, I promise I won't just scroll past. I'm going to be wondering who is defending 499 points and who is playing with house money.
Then my job here is done.
Thanks for diving in with us. We'll catch you on the next one.
See you then.